Chapter 5. Departure. The cab smelled faintly of diesel and old leather, the kind of scent that clung to cities that had survived too much history to ever feel clean again. Yani sat in the back seat, coat buttoned high, watching Rome move past the window in long amber streaks. Scooters slipped between lanes like thoughts she didn't have time to finish. Laundry hung between buildings older than most countries. The driver hummed to himself, one hand loose on the wheel, unconcerned with wars that never made the newspapers. Her phone rested dark in her palm. She did not turn it on. The radio in the dashboard muttered in Italian, news, traffic, weather. The announcer's voice was confident, ordinary, the world still pretending it was stable. She stared ahead. Jack would have decoded it by now. He always did. That wasn't the problem. The problem was what he would do next. The cab crested a rise, and there it was. The RAI transmission tower stabbing into the evening sky, red lights blinking against gathering dusk. Steel and certainty. A machine built to speak to millions at once. Her eyes followed it. For a brief, dangerous moment, she considered it. There were still ways. Old routing paths, emergency broadcast overrides. She could bury a message in signal noise, slip his name between frequencies like a razor hidden in bread. It would reach him. Probably. But not only him. Too many ears. Too many ghosts. And if someone was consolidating assets, watching grids tighten like fists, then any public transmission would confirm what they already suspected. Number. A broadcast was a flare. This required proximity. The cab merged toward the airport road, traffic thickening into orderly lines of departure. She exhaled slowly. This would have to be done the oldest way, in person. The most dangerous way for both of them. Her reflection in the window looked calm. It always did. Years of training had taught her that stillness was armor, panic was inefficient. But beneath that stillness, calculation moved fast. If the numbers were accurate, and they were, Jack was already on a list, not a recall, a roll call, which meant someone was counting. The cab pulled up to Fiumicino. The driver killed the engine and turned halfway around. Terminal 3, signora. She nodded and paid in cash. Grazie. Inside, the airport hummed with fluorescent fatigue, rolling suitcases, departure boards flipping destinations with mechanical indifference. New York, Chicago, Atlanta. She studied the board only a second before choosing. New York would be obvious. Chicago, too, centralized. Atlanta. A quieter entry point. Less scrutiny. She stepped to the counter, posture relaxed, accent precise. Buonasera, she said, sliding her passport forward. Un biglietto per Atlanta, solo andata. The agent tapped at the keyboard. Classe economica? Sì. Posto finestrino o corridoio? Finestrino. Window seat. She preferred to see exits. The printer whirred. Paper slid across the counter. Imbarco tra un'ora e 20 minuti. Perfetto. Grazie mille. She moved away without hurry. Around her, families argued about luggage weight. A child cried over a dropped toy. Business travelers stared into screens. Ordinary noise. She found a seat near the gate but did not see it immediately. Instead, she turned slightly, scanning faces without appearing to. No one watching too closely. No one holding still when others moved. Good. She finally sat, hands folded loosely in her lap. Jack would not expect her. He would expect a signal, a code, a warning wrapped in static. He would not expect Rome to arrive at his door. That gave her one advantage. Only one. She closed her eyes briefly, letting the rhythm of the terminal settle into something usable. Dead air was never dead. And if the grid was tightening, if someone was counting the living, then she would stand in front of him before they finished, not as a voice through noise, as proof. The boarding call sounded overhead in careful Italian and careful English. She stood. No message to transmit, no signal to intercept, only distance to close, and a man in America who did not yet understand how close the war had come to his door.